Alright, for today, just a simple video. Kind of just need to do some, we'll call it maintenance and some testing and stuff like that. And I figured, I'll turn it into a video. Why not? At the very least, I'll have something for my records and something maybe for you to watch. Got a pickup from eBay. This is just here to keep the flaps down, but since we're talking about it, I basically just bought a lot of quote-unquote new old stock floppy disks. Now, I don't know if they're actually new old stock or not. These boxes don't have any kind of wrapping on them or anything. Not a whole lot of information about this company either. When I looked them up, it seems like it points to a website that's a .org, which signifies that they're an organization, probably nonprofit. But back in the 90s, they were selling office supplies and things like floppy disks. Not so much anymore. In fact, their website as of today wasn't even loading. I had to load up a copy of it from archive.org from June-ish of this year, last time it worked. But anyway, I wanted to see if I could find some pictures to see if they actually had them wrapped in shrink wrap or anything like that, but not so much. Couldn't find anything. But it came with a bunch of these, and it also said it came with some IBM disks too. And so I looked at them, I'm like, interesting packaging, but when I turned it around, they're not blank. This actually has a copy of OS2 Extended Edition on here. And I was kind of surprised because these can usually go for more than what I paid for this entire lot here. So whatever, that's okay. Now it's possible that these were also just new and never used because these labels are, you can see they're kind of yellowed and the adhesive doesn't stick anymore. So these very much could be brand new. I don't know. They also very much could not work. The seller, I assume that they either buy stuff through estate sales, maybe they run an estate sale company, just based on their username, so I'm not sure. So it's possible they don't know if these are new old stock or not. They could just be assumptions. Now, I have found a bunch of these types of discs for sale, not necessarily from the same seller, so they do exist out there, but I want to see if they do in fact work. And honestly, even if only half of these work, I still got my money's worth. Actually, this box feels kind of light, so they might be new old stock, but yeah, even if only half of these discs work, not kind of the OS2 ones, I still got my money's worth. So, and the reason I did that is because when I was working on the Unisys PC, I needed to make some floppy disks to do certain things, and I realized that I really didn't have a whole lot left that worked. So probably half of the ones that I had left didn't work at all. But now that I do have not one, not two, but three computers that have working floppy disk drives, the Unisys PC as well as the NEC Ready 7610 and the IBM ThinkPad 380, I can at least test these disks in one of these machines, if not all three, just to, good sample size and see if they work. Now, I'm not going to test all these on camera. I'll do like one or two, and then do the rest on my own, and then show you the results at the end. Now, in the event that these are not new old stock or unused and they have data on them, I'll set those aside. If there's anything interesting, we'll look at it. Nothing personal, of course, but if there's any applications or anything like that, we'll take a look. So I think we'll start with the box that has just a handful of discs left in there. Test this one out first. Like I said, we'll do a couple of them. I'll check the rest of them off camera, and then we'll resume. This probably won't be a very long video unless we find something interesting on these discs. And yes, I will also test the OS2 discs as well, just to make sure that they work, because it'd be kind of neat to have them. I just want to do something as basic as just taking a disk out, putting it in the drive, and seeing if it reads or not, and then see if I can copy data to and from. And I will also take some pre-made disks, see if I can do a disk copy. So, it says it's IBM formatted, if I could focus here. And now it won't focus on the screen. Whatever. Hear it reading. Nothing on here. All right, so it doesn't necessarily mean that they're new old stock or unused. It just means that they were formatted at some point. So let's do something basic here. I wonder, what do I have that's... I don't know if I could copy anything over if I wanted to, but let me see. So I think I can fit this install of Wolfenstein 3D onto that disk. So let's go ahead and do that. Seems to be successful. Now I'm going to take this disk, I'm going to try it in the NEC PC to see if it's readable, and if it is, we'll consider this a master disk and maybe use it to make copies on to the rest to see if it works or not. Alright, so I've got my basic DOS install over here, nothing fancy. Oh, that's right, it's my B drive because the A drive is the GoTech. And as we can see, it's there. So let's go ahead and let's see if we can install it now. The floppy drive in the NEC is kind of quiet compared to the one in the Unisys. Not a big deal, but also the CPU fan in the NEC is louder because it's a overdrive, and that fan runs just all the time. I know there's some mods that you can do to try to replace the fan to quiet it down. I'm going to probably do that at some point, but for now it'll work. And there we go. No sound because I don't think I have. It's using PC speaker. It's not detecting the sound blaster, interestingly enough. Oh, that's right, because I don't have any of the blaster settings set up, and this doesn't auto-detect the card itself. This relies on auto-exec, but that's fine, whatever. It's working. But yeah, it's working, so there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and test the rest of them off camera and let you know what the results are. So sadly, nothing secret or hidden on there or anything like that. They were all clean. Again, I can't say that they were new, but they were clean, and at the very least, they were readable and everything. I was able to format some of them that I grabbed. Some of I just copied files to and then deleted them. So at the very least, I've got 35-ish or so discs that I can use, which for what I pay for them, great deal. And I also now have a copy of Wolf 3D Demo on a floppy disk that I can use to test systems out and all that, as well as created a basic boot disk, by doing a format/s and then I copied a few extra files over. No CD-ROM drivers, no sound drivers, nothing like that, just basically enough to be able to format a hard drive, F-disk it, all that fun stuff. So I also read the OS2 disks. They seem to read fine. There's the Unisys PC, and there's the NEC PC along with a mess of a desk over here. So yeah, these I don't think, the OS2 disks, I don't think that they were used because every disk is in order, and unless a person is just as neurotic as I am and wanted to put everything back in exact order, they probably didn't use them at all. They might have never been installed. Like I said, the adhesive on the sticker here is just dried up completely. So these literally could just be a new old stock copy of OS2 Extended Edition version 1.3. So again, I have that too. So that's pretty cool. So now I have floppy disks. Again, I don't know how long they're going to work for. They're old disks. I don't know if there's a manufacturing date on here. I know that they have a website listed there. Like I said, there's libertyarc.org. If you go back to an early 90s copy of it, you'll see that they were selling the floppy disks, but none of the images are loading. Newer versions of the site are just the purely non-profit aspect of it. So look at they're Liberty Gold, double-sided high density 1.44, and they are pre-formatted. Now, Just because you pick up disks that are, let's say, IBM formatted or Mac formatted, doesn't mean you can't use them in the other system. You'll just have to format them ahead of time. The pre-formatting is basically just a convenience so that you can use them right away. You don't have to format them first and then use them. Usually you would pay a little bit of an extra premium, not much, but a little bit more for them versus unformatted, whatever. I think I struck out. Well, I didn't strike out. I hit a home run, I should say. And, got myself some discs. So like I said, even if only half of these end up working overall, I still made off well. So, what do you guys think? Ever heard of this brand before? Because honestly, until I found that eBay listing, I did not. So, yeah, let me know what you guys thought. If you guys want any more stupid, silly videos like this, let me know down below. Otherwise, thanks all. Catch you later.